if you lose the access to a load board, what will happen? The quick backstory. I was visiting one of my friends. He owns a car hauling business, and he has about like 25 trucks, and I think he bought two more. Let's say 25, and 27 technically, but let's say 25 trucks. In those trucks, if you don't know, you can Google it, car haulers. In the truck and trailer, it really expensive. Think about, like, it's almost $400,000 equipment, right? There obviously 7 car haulers, and then there's 9 car haulers, 10 car haulers. But he owns mostly 9 car haulers. Those are really, really expensive and equipment. And I was sitting in his office, and and he dispatched, I think, for 5 his trucks, and he has the in office dispatches, and he, I think, got about 2 independent freight dispatchers overseas dispatches. They dispatch their his trucks. So something went wrong with the load board, and load board was down for maintenance, or something happened. I'm not going to mention the load board name, but the load board was down. And I said, listen, and there are 20 more trucks, and you just dispatched, like 5 trucks, and then there are 20 left, and you have, like, there's a lot to do. And then he kind of panicked a little bit. So we've been sitting for about an hour, and then it's still, the load board is under the maintenance. So it's not, it's just down. And every minute passes, he really gets frustrated. And I say, well, think about this. What would you do if you just, like, you wake up tomorrow morning and then you don't have access to load boards? Like, anything can happen. Think about regulations, and you just, like, load boards, it's just gone. Like, you don't have those. What would you do? And the reason why I asked this is because the system he built for his business, be honest with you, maybe he's watching. I'm not gonna call that is a business. I think it's a horrible job that he has, right? He created really, really it's just a job, right? He created a job for himself. It's not the business that he has. He owns the asset, he owns the business, but then most importantly, business owns him, right? He works about, like, almost 24/7, 365, right? So, and I asked for reason, and I said, listen, you built this business around load board, and mostly, if you're an independent freight dispatch, if you don't know what I'm talking about, please Google it. And if you have people, let's say friends and families in the trucking, just ask them how they operate their business, and you will realize, and you'll be amazed, most of them, about 90% of the time, they'll be operating their businesses based on the load board. So what I'm saying is that it's like a building a business around one person, right? So what will happen if you want to sell your business, right? Nobody wants to buy you. They want to buy a system that generates revenue consistently, right? They're not buying you. So when you're gone, that basically means that business is gone, right? And I said, well, think about what would you do? Like, you wake up, you don't have access to load boards. Think about almost $400,000, guys. This is a 400K per truck, and he owns 25, and he bought about 2 more. And by the way, I'm not saying that, hey, these load boards will go away soon, but this is, as I said in the beginning of this training, is that it's an awareness, attention bringing video today. So the conversation went viral. We talked about, I don't know, for about like 3 hours, and we invited friends, and we started discussing this, because this is very important. So you have this central hub, which we call load boards, right? For car haulers, there's a specific load board. And again, I'm not going to mention the company name, but there is a load board for specifically for car haulers. And he buys more trucks, and he hires people like dispatchers, and then they're using just one load board, and then there are multiple access, obviously, and then they're getting loads off of these load boards, or just a load board. And I said, just what will happen if you just lose no access? What would you do? And when you ask this question to carriers out there, be honest with you, they don't have a backup plan. Right? Just ask them. This will be like, you'll be amazed. Like, they'll be like, well, load boards are not gonna, they're not going anywhere. They'll be with us, right? As long as I'm live. But how? Like, what about the regulations? Think about. Then like next month, you just like, there's like, I don't know, Congress law passed something that, we don't have the access to a load boards. Think about you if you are an independent, freight dispatcher, overseas dispatching, you created a business, and you dispatching loads in the United States. And think about, if you're a carrier, you own about 20, 25 trucks, you build your system around these load boards, right? So if you're a broker, so you have carriers, shippers, you have freight dispatchers, freight agents, and you build this system, what will happen? Just think about, you don't have access to load boards. I think for a different business model, obviously there are different backups, but there's one central solution for this, and I'll be going over this. I'll share with you. So obviously we do have a backup plan, but what I'm trying to say is that, guys, think about, like, you are dependent on a platform that you don't control. Think about for a second. Like, think about, let's go off topic. Think about Facebook. So you created your Facebook page. Think about, you created your group. Maybe you have thousands of people. So we have, for specifically for independent freight dispatchers, we have about 10,000 members. Something went wrong and Facebook decided to just, close my account. Lost, right? Everything. They're just gone. I don't have any access, right? So I have a lot of friends that they're running Facebook ads and their accounts get shut down. Think about, they're spending thousands of dollars per day and accounts get shut down. Think about this YouTube channel. What will happen if just like YouTube decided to just, close this account? Like, all the subscribers, all the audience that I have, all the videos that I have is just gone, right? I don't have the control because of the platform. But then what would be the solution then, right? You're creating your own platform. So remember I said, for the different business models, there are different solution, obviously, but there's one central, I think, solution for every business. But think about what will happen to a carrier who owns about 25 trucks, like my friend. He lost. And obviously then he will get off to office, go out, and then take his business information and just knocking doors, just direct shippers. He has the ability to do this, right? So marketing himself, saying, hey, I have trucks, right? Maybe dealerships, or I don't know, car manufacturers, and will go in and knocking doors, say, hey, I own assets, I do have equipment, I can haul your freight or your cars. Let's work together, right? But then obviously it takes time. But what I'm trying to say is that not many carriers do this. They just rely on just one platform. If that platform closes, business is closed. Think about this, 25 truck, my, friend with the 25 trucks. Think about almost $10 million in debt. He owns to the bank almost $10,000. Well, this is scary, right? So, and what I think for the brokers, they mostly, what I see, they leveraging what I'm about to share with you, right? They have their own platforms. So what will happen is that they're pulling the data meaning customer information, like, the email address, the maybe office number, or the CEO or the owner or the dispatcher, the phone numbers, for example, the basically contact information. And then he pulls that data and plug it into his platform. In case something happens, then obviously he does have this, his own platform where he can reach out. I'll give you an example. Think this way. If I'm a carrier and I own, 25 trucks, this is what I would do. But every time I'm contacting with the broker, I will have a CRM or some type of, software that I can store the information. If I work with you, for example, if you're a broker, then I will keep your information, your email address, your name, your phone number, right? And then if I, let's say, lost the access, there are no load boards, right? So then I can easily email and ask for a load. So I'll show you the numbers, but think about this. What I'm trying to say is that, guys, you must own your own platform, right? And obviously, you need software to, leverage this. But we do with all the owner operators and carriers and obviously brokers. We keep the data. Let's say if load boards, decided to close on us, did no, access denied, no more access, then we own the data. We don't think about, two scenarios. This friend of mine who owns a 25 trucks and he's not collecting any emails, any contact information. He's just like load booked, dispatch delivered, gets paid. That's it. This cycle is like 24/7, 365. It repeats itself, right? But he is not keeping the data. But just forget about tracking his KPIs and then building the systems. No, it just, why? Because it's easy to buy more trucks, hire more drivers, and you just access to load board, finding the loads, dispatch, and that's it. But mostly you will see when there's season, for example, right now for some markets, it's booming, there are more loads. But for some markets, for example, car hauling specifically, they don't have cars to haul. But now when he looks back, he owns a lot of banks assets, and almost $10 million in debt. He kind of scared. But think about, in a different scenario, I own, let's say, 25 trucks myself, and I do own my customers' information. All the brokers that I'm dealing with, in the carriers maybe I have, and the dispatchers maybe I have, and I have this, my own platform where I have those, contact information, and I can access whenever I wanted to. So I'll share something, with you. Let me share screen, and then I'll show it to you what I mean by saying this. As you can see right now, so we have about 21,000 contact information. Obviously, I'm not gonna share. It's my account, right? So I can, refresh if you wanted to. So almost 21,000 people, and you can see, these are the recent activities. As you can see, about 7 minutes ago, while I was talking to you, so we got a lead meaning potential customer. So I have a system that runs automatically 24/7, 365. Even I'm just, talking to you or teaching something or sharing something with you, leads been generated, right? So I own the data. So if load boards closes, load boards closed, I don't have access. I'm losing my, YouTube channel. I losing my, let's say, Facebook group or whatever. I own the data. I can, get back up within a couple of days by simply emailing and saying, "Hey, I have a new YouTube channel. Hey guys, I have new Facebook group, for example. Hey guys, I do X, Y, and Z here where you can join." This is how you guys survive in this business, right? So, as I said, this is very, very important. And one of the reasons, why we said, we can share with the audience and with the people who are interested in becoming independent freight dispatcher. Maybe you are a carrier, maybe you are a, the freight broker, for example, and you can leverage this to save your business, right? So I hope you guys liked it. So I'll just hop on a, question. I'll take some questions, and I do see you guys have questions. Let's see. So again, guys, if you have questions, please let me know. Let's see. Okay, so I do have this question. G Shine, he says, how can start? not clear, but I think he means, oh, there you go. So what I need for independent, dispatcher, you know, how you can become independent freight dispatcher. And obviously, first step, if you don't know how to find loads, book loads, dispatch loads, obviously you need a training, right? So I've been, sharing this with, with the people, saying, hey, if you guys want to learn independent freight dispatching, basically we have two options. One option being free, and the other option is obviously joining the, training, programs and coaching programs, something like that. So for free, and obviously you have Google, internet, Facebook groups, and obviously YouTube channel. So if you want to learn, let's say, like you need guidance, for example, you need a mentor, you need a coach, obviously you can join a coaching class. This is how you, or coaching programs, this is how you, start independent freight dispatching. So when we say independent freight dispatching, obviously there's dispatching side of it and there's a business aspect of it. So when you want to learn, basically you want to learn the skill first, right? Finding a load, booking a load and dispatching a load. And then obviously you'll be learning the business aspect of it. And then you just combine, create a service, and provide your services to carriers. That's how you do the business. So let me take this question. Hamza says, can anyone give me one carrier, as I have load board subscription, but I don't have any carrier? Hamza, think about this. Just asking for a carrier, it's not the way how you do business. That's basically what I'm trying to say. You can have a subscription that doesn't say anything, but you need to market your services to a carrier, where carrier agrees to your services. You talk to a carrier, and then meaning carrier, willing to work with you. This is how you do business. So hope that helps. Hello, do you know any customers that have free load? There you go, same thing. So okay, so this is the question. That's what happened a month ago for a half day. There you go. See that? Just like half a day is gone and you don't have the access for the load. See this? This is one of the examples, right? Awesome. Okay. So let's take this question. Sorry, the quiz is, how can I open my bank account in the US for many independent dispatch business, or can I use PayPal for a payment? You can use a PayPal for the payments, receiving payments, I would say, or sending invoices, but you need to set up your business first, in a legal way. And again, click disclaimer, we're not, CPAs, we're not, attorneys, but we highly recommend talking to a CPA, getting advice from professionals like, small business attorneys, and they will guide you. So let's see. There you go. I need to check this question. Why are you a big fan of a ClickFunnels? Guys, I do have in that is the guy, he, the owner of the software or the company called ClickFunnels, and he's one of my mentors. He's awesome. So that's what I can say. So we'll just save some time. Yeah, I love the company. So let's take this question. Thanks for bringing this to our attention. Obviously, you're welcome. Having internet issues from the time to time brought this question to my mind. There you go. And you answered it. So appreciate it. Absolutely. There you go. Yep. Awesome. So Mohammed Hassan says, do you have discounts Black Friday? No. No, I don't do any discounts. So no, just simply no. I was something in mind, but we don't do discounts. Okay, let's take this question real quick. Can I use PayPal or virtual bank account for this? And again, since I don't know how you set up your business, and again, PayPal is good for sending, invoices, and obviously sending payments, receiving payments, yes. But then, we need to see like how you set up your business, for example. Then we can recommend something like online business account, something like that. Okay. So let's take this question. Kamal, how long will it take your course and how much do you charge? Okay, I'm not going into details like, how much we charge, because it's a coaching program, it's not a course, but um, it's a 5-week program, guys. And then the reason why we call 5-week program is because most of our students get up and running within 5 weeks. And it's not the course that or the training that you go for 5 weeks. It's not a drip content. You can take on speed, like you can complete within a couple of days, but we highly recommend like going over a couple of times. But then you will be attending live sessions where we teach in depth, and you come with the specific questions and specific problems, and then we solve that problem. This is how you progress. But we see um within a couple of weeks we have results for our students. So hope that helps. Okay, so can I make physical bank account outside the US? About 99.99%, I would say, not 100% sure, you cannot open a bank account. If you're outside the US, you must be physically present in the US to open an account, right? So there are obviously ways to create a business account, like leveraging online, checking accounts. That is the way to go. Okay, so the question is, so what should we do? I'm assuming what should we do as far as, okay, so if there's load board is gone, then what we'll do, I already covered it. So maybe you can just, when we post this, then you can rewatch the the video. We already covered it. So Miguel, one of our students. So I created a relationship with the broker. It makes, okay, yeah, much easier. Absolutely, yeah. You build a relationship, obviously. So, and we have these coaching calls, and then I share the strategies, what we do and how we attract the carriers and how we run our business. So obviously the relationship is important. Then when we share with our students saying like we don't normally use like in a day-to-day basis the load boards, sometimes we use load boards just backhaul, right? So if you don't know what I'm saying as far as backhaul, you can obviously search this term, but we'll come back to this. But we do for a backhaul. Why? Because we do have, the brokers list, and we have the relationship with brokers. So let's say if we have, 100 brokers, and, this is how we apply 80/20 principle. So 80/20 principle means like, hey, we do work with about 20%. Let's say there's 100, brokers, and then we work about 20 brokers, because we get about like 80% of revenue from these brokers. This is how we kind of segment brokers, and we build more relationship with these brokers, right? So, and then whenever we need, for example, loads, then we'll just basically email. Just one simple email goes to these 20 different brokers, to this specific. And again, guys, we have a specific lane. So, and then we'll be receiving, hey, Kamal, we have these loads, and then we have a bunch of loads, and then we'll just pick, and then we'll say, hey, just send me confirmation for this one. So we're not using the load boards that much, but again, maybe we're at a different level. Maybe you're just starting. Yes, you need to use load boards, but when you start, this is the point. When you start, doing the business, day one, start collecting emails for your carriers, for your dispatchers, for your brokers. Okay, this is how you stay in the business. And thanks, Miguel. This is great. It's not a question, but great point. Okay, so how you can contact, you can obviously the best way, I would guys recommend joining the Facebook group. We active, right? So we have about 10,000. I'll just pull over here, and then I'll share with you. We have the Facebook group. It's a closed Facebook group. You can search for dispatch trucks, and this is how you get here. And I do have a link below this video, so let me share with you real quick. Let's see, let me go here. There you go. This is the Facebook group that we have. As I told you guys, it's like 10,000 members, and you can search for dispatch trucks. helping people starting profitable dispatching, business. So there, it's awesome, and you guys see it's like live right now, and we do a lot of Q&As and then training. And I shared about like 23 hours ago one of our students, and you can see, and we share results and etc. Please join. So, and then you can obviously ask questions that way. We have moderators, and myself, I'll be there helping you guys whatever the questions you have. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, let me take this question. I think this is out of topic, but we'll go real quick. What are the best states for flatbed? Since I'm in the flatbed, I will share with you the Texas is the best state, I would say. So for the flatbed, let's do. Paula says difference between carriers MC and brokerage. So broker MC and the carriers MC, how they different? The carrier, the basically the I'm not a broker, but I have a little bit of a knowledge as far as how they different. So brokers, they don't have the possession. They don't have the liability. They don't possess the liability, I would say, for the load. So they don't own trucks. There's a specific, obviously, MC number, for brokers. The carriers, obviously, they have they're liable for the loads on their trailers, for example, and they do have, the assets, for example, their trucks. But the brokers, they don't, own the trucks, and basically, this is how the Department of Transportation, separates them and said, okay, so you are the middleman, which is the freight broker, and obviously you finding shippers and then you finding carriers, you connecting them. Yes, it's a valuable thing to do, and you get commission, but then obviously you need to have a broker MC number. It's almost the same, but brokers MC basically gives them the ability to connect these two parties. That's how we look at it. But if you just dig into this, you just Google it and you can get more information. But basically, this is how it works. So, by the way, the MC number, and then this is what we get, and this is what we know. Not many brokers, and again, not every broker is the same. But what I'm saying is that there are some companies out there, they don't have if they have the broker's MC number, there's no surety bond. They don't have insurance attached to the MC number. Just please make sure and do more research on this before working with the broker. So hope that helps. Okay, can I make a physical account in how? Okay, agent that I'm living in the United States. It depends. It depends on the situation. Again, what's the business model, for example? But there's some videos. I think it's like we have the title for the video. It's search for running your dispatching business in the U.S., not living in the U.S. So there is a title. I can't remember the exact title, but you can watch that and it will help you. Okay, so doesn't not using load board make it difficult when planning the trips? Okay, so doesn't not using the load board make it difficult when planning the trips? Think about this. How the load board helping you to plan the trips, right? So basically planning, it's outside the load board. This is you as an independent freight dispatcher. This is how you plan, and then this is what you do, right? So for example, how many trucks I have, and then what are they, and then I have, let's say, 4 trucks in Atlanta. They going where? You planning in advance, but it's not in like, I don't know, maybe you're using different, load boards, different, tools that attach to your load board, but it's, planning, it's outside the load board. So basically, if you, and obviously when you implementing different strategies and building different systems, then obviously you will like, okay, so if I'm building this, I'm not using load boards, maybe for backhaul, but I will be, and again, guys, I'm not saying don't use, it's just like basically a backup plan, but you need to ready. And we obviously use load boards, it's for backhaul, but we are on a different level. We set up our business differently. We operate a little bit of, it's different business model. But what I'm saying is that the keeping the customer information, or the client information is crucial. You need to own the platform, right? You can depend on the platform to run your business, but then you're not solely depend on one platform. You must have your backup plan. When you lose access, then obviously you have this, you know, data or the email list where you can email and ask for, loads, for example. So, um, hope that helps. The trips, and again, so you planning outside the load boards. Okay. How can I communicate to you? You're communicating to me right now. So this is one way. Another way, joining the Facebook group. This is the Facebook group we have. You know, the name for this group is Dispatch Trucks, helping people starting profitable dispatching business. So let's go and take a couple more questions and see what happens. Okay, let's take this one. What would you say is the most important skill to learn for someone who wants to start a dispatch business with no prior experience? Join the training program. Be honest with you, and guys, don't you know? I know it sounds like I'm inviting to join the coaching program, but you guys, when you're starting out and you don't know anything about business, like you said, like no prior experience, guys, you need a mentor, right? So if I'm starting a business, if I don't know, when I even was starting this, independent freight dispatching business, before that, I had my, the carrier side of my business, which is Prime Express. So I started with, a little bit differently, but I had a mentor. He's one of my friends. So he basically, taught me everything. He showed me every process, and he taught me how to dispatch, how to buy trucks and everything. It's like, I can't emphasize it enough that you need a coach, you need a mentor to get there. And obviously, if you're like, no, I can learn myself, then internet is your best friend. Then this is what I would recommend. So as far as skill goes, I think selling, negotiating, this is what I would recommend. I think the number one skill is just obviously be a student in learning. This is what I learned, that learning is actually skill, right? There is a book. So it's reading a book is actually a skill, and there's a book how to read a book, right? So this is very important. Hope that helps, but a good question. Okay. So Loadboard already shows pickup and drop off locations, so you can plan the trips, is what I mean. Okay. Fair enough. I understand this is just, for backup. Yeah. So, this is what happens. For example, when you get loads, for example, from brokers, and most brokers, they will have their own basically platforms where you will pick up. And again, this is what we do. So if we have loads, let's say in Atlanta, Georgia, and we're going to, let's say, Houston, Texas, right? It's even easier, right? So when you adapt this, it's much easier. But again, guys, I'm not saying don't use load boards. You use load boards. You can, use load boards. And again, guys, there are links below this video that you can sign up, for the load boards. We use load boards, and this is what we teach to our students. Use load boards. This is just a backup plan. And again, guys, I'm repeating, this is a backup plan. It's not don't use a load boards. You must use a load boards, but it's just like bringing an awareness, saying, like you said, right? So thank you for bringing attention that, hey, I thought about this. But it's when you can use or leverage this tactic, let's say, or a strategy, when the load board's down, for example, it's totally normal. They can be, down for a day, maybe. What about a couple of days? It can happen. What about like 5 days in a row? We don't, have much of a 100% grip on, technology. Technology can always fail us. It's totally normal, right? So that just a backup plan. And obviously, yes, load boards, makes, this is why we have those load boards. But what I'm saying is that if you like, okay, I have 4 trucks in Atlanta, Georgia, and then they go to Texas, and then now I, need loads going from Atlanta to Houston, and then you just basically email to your broker saying, hey, I'm looking for a loads. I have 4 trucks. So you just name like trucks numbers, and you say, hey, these are the 2 flatbeds, 2 step decks. They're ready to go, ready to pick up, and we're going to Texas. You guys, if you have anything, just let me know. right? And then there will be loads coming at you saying, hey, we don't have to Houston, Texas, but we have to Laredo, Texas, or something, or Dallas, Texas. Would you be able to pick up this load? And, this is how it goes, right? Hope that helps. Okay. So, okay. Khalila says, how much extra should we charge for tarping? I may have found my first carrier. Awesome. Congratulations. Please share. Are you one of our students? Khalila, I think you are one of our students. So, I'm assuming you are in the flatbed, or the step deck. It's $100, $150 per tarping. And again, there's like, it depends on, like, is a small tarping, is it like whole trailer tarping? But I do say, and this is what I was just, will share with you. I was, paying 175, just full tarp, for example. Or just, it's a small tarping, it doesn't matter. We just agreed with the driver that it will be 175. But most of the time, drivers will just like, hey, I'll pay you 175. Please don't look for, tarp loads. This is what will happen. But yeah, it's like tarping is total different world. But hope that helps. Okay, so let's see. I want to take training from you. Can you share your email? Easily contact. Yeah, absolutely. There will be a link below this video where you can, sign up for free, for example, guide how you can become independent freight dispatcher. So once you download that, then will have your email, and then you will just go over the startup guide, and then you will be receiving emails from me. So this is how you can have my email address, and then if you wanted to communicate with me, then you can communicate that way. Okay, so after finding the carrier, then you can look for the load. Yes, that's the logical way to do it. Other than that, you will have the access to load boards, for example. Then you'll be calling brokers. Then you don't know first where your trucks are, so that you can put the origin and destination. If you say, Kamal, I just want to play around and see how it goes, and definitely there will be links below this video. You can sign up. And by the way, guys, this is how you leverage. If you stick to the end, I will show you how you can get 60-day free trial. Yes, you heard me right. It'll be 60-day free trial. I'll show you the tactic how you can do that, but it's a legit way of doing it. 60-day, imagine 60-day for a training. I mean, for the load board. Like you will have plenty of time finding a carrier and then start dispatching. I'll share with you. So let's take a couple more questions, and then we'll go from there. So if DAT load board fails, which other load board would you recommend? Zaki, this is specific question, but I highly recommend working with the DAT. And one of the reasons we work with the DAT, and a lot of students would just solely recommend DAT, no other load boards. We use other load boards, but we're not happy with them. So the one thing is that when you trying to avoid this, like if they fails you, it doesn't mean that they won't fail you. They meaning different load boards. It's a technology, it's a software, it's a program, right? It can fail you. But the number one leading company, which is DAT Solutions, they have the best load boards out there. It's my personal opinion. If you don't agree, then it's okay with me. But this is what I recommend, to our students and to our, friends and families. And this is what I see the mostly people use. And don't think that, if you use that load board, it won't fail you. It will, right? So, and again, it's technology. It's totally normal. So, guys, and I said I'll be sharing with you the tactics. So there will be links below this video how you can sign up for the load boards. There will be Truckers Edge Pro link, and then there will be a let me share with you. I'll be sharing the tactic how you can have 60 days free trial for load boards. Yes, guys, there's a 60-day free trial. So bear with me. Just let me pull. Let's pause this video real quick, and then I'll show it to you. So right below this video, let's go there real quick. So right below this video, right? So it's alive. So there you go. So this is the free startup guide. when I post this, you will have the link for, for the startup guide you can download. And then there will be a chance to join the training if you wanted to. Then join the Facebook group. This is exactly same Facebook group as you can see. It's a 10,000 members, right? So you can sign here. This is a click to software where you can and again, there's a video going over this. It's basically just a click to call. When you use load boards, it's just like you're not dialing. You just click, and then it automatically dials. Then this is the get your first month free on Trucker's Edge, right? So you use this link, and then you will have the DAT Power load board. So these are the two. Okay. So let me share the tactic with you. You sign up for the Trucker's Edge Pro. It's almost identical to DAT Power, just a little bit more, tools comes with the DAT Power load board. Sign up for Trucker's Edge Pro. This is how you get 60 days of free trial. Sign up for Trucker's Edge Pro. Use it for 30 days. And again, guys, we are the authorized resellers for the DAT solution. So mention my name or the company name, which is Dispatch Trucks, or my name, Kamal, and then or use this link, and then we'll just give you that 30-day free trial. Then let's say your 30-day expires within a couple of days. Call DAT and say, hey, I'll be signing up for or upgrading for the DAT Power. Two things will happen. You will get another 30 days for the DAT Power. Now we have about 60 days free trial. Imagine that, 60 days, right? So you will have that 60 days, but then upgrading, it will just smoothen. It will be easy for you to kind of, upgrading from one lower level to, up level, for example. You just, it's easier for them to give you access to a load board. Why? Because they already have your personal information, company information, right? It's easy for them to upgrade. Then you will have 30 days. So total, you have a 60 days free trial, right? So this is where you can leverage the subscription, the load board subscription, and obviously within that time frame, you can find the carrier, and then you start dispatching, finding the loads, etc. So that being said, guys, if you need, like personal assistance, learning in depth as far as independent freight dispatching goes, and again, there is a link, below this video. Join. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll take a look if we have more questions. So there's no more questions, and guys, thank you. And we do these live Q&A calls every Tuesday and Friday. Tuesdays we do about 5 p.m. and then on Fridays we do about 12:30. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Other than that, it was awesome. Thank you for great questions. I'll see you on the Friday. Bye for now.